Hello, and welcome to the Wirecast, the video podcast of Wiregrass Georgia Technical College. Welcome back to the Wirecast. I'm your host, Michael Williams. I'm excited to introduce today Will Bostleman, our new Executive Director of Fundraising at the college. Will, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be here on the Wirecast to share a little bit more about the foundation and the great things we have going on.
Well, great, buddy. Tell us about you. You've not been here long.
No, I think we're starting week 4.
Yeah.
So we're on day 2 of week 4. So it's been great so far. A lot of information, a lot of folks to meet, but loving every second of it.
Well, I know it's baptism by fire at Wiregrass Georgia Technical College. It was when I got hired, but you've done a great job so far. Why don't you tell us about a few initiatives you're working on with the foundation?
Sure. So right now we've got our alumni network that we're about to launch. So this is for any student who has been to Wiregrass or any iteration of Wiregrass throughout the past, whether that was East Central or Valdosta Technical College. A way for them to get plugged in, learn a little bit more about what their fellow alumni is up to these days and what programs we have going on here with our current students, and maybe provide some connections for our students now with students who were here 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago.
That's right. It's important. I mean, people take pride in where they went. And
they do.
I'm always surprised to find out who is alumni. Yesterday we did a podcast with our Ruben Spade, who's on our board of directors, and then I didn't even know that he was a former student of Wiregrass. And we had some legislators out here not long ago. John Corbett was one of them, and then he just mentioned in passing on his way out the door that he's a former student of Wiregrass. So.
No, that's awesome, and that just shows you that Wiregrass graduates are everywhere. When I took this job a couple weeks ago, I got so many calls from folks who, out of the woodworks, coming, "Hey, I went to Wiregrass. I graduated there back when it was, Ben Hill Irwin Tech." So it's been awesome to just feel that connection in that community that Wiregrass has here.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of the foundation events coming up. So sure. Corks and Forks is important, right?
So we've got Corks and Forks. That's our annual kind of scholarship fundraiser that we do down at Hallbrook Hill on March 26th. It'll be from about 6 to 9. We've got, I think, 7 different culinary providers, including our students here in our culinary program at Wiregrass, and 6 local restaurants who will be there to do wine pairings with different food that they cook. We'll also have Two River Station, a local Valdosta band, to perform some music for us as well.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good time. And if you want to buy tickets or you want to sponsor an event or sponsor the event or a table, you can go to the wiregrass.edu website, and it's one of the first things right there on the website. If you have trouble buying tickets, you can always reach out to me at will.bostleman@wiregrass.edu. Perfect.
That's great news, and we're all looking forward to it. Tell us a bit about your background, Will. I know you were at ABAC. You worked with the Georgia Chamber for a while. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no. So I graduated from ABAC. I was originally from Fitzgerald, but lived all over the state. Knew I always wanted to get back south. So came to ABAC, started as an ag business major, ended up being a regular business major after taking some really hard animal science classes. And somehow, one way or another, decided I wanted to go to Atlanta and live in downtown Atlanta. So downtown Tifton was the biggest city I had ever lived in before, and moved to Ponce de Leon in Atlanta. I lived about 2 blocks from the Fox Theater, complete different part of the world that this little rural Georgia kid was used to.
I bet.
But spent 3 years in Atlanta working with the Georgia Chamber, did everything public affairs, from lobbying down at the Capitol, public policy development, looking at the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of Georgia's economy and where we're headed, and also did a little bit of the political fundraising engagement as well. Then we do a lot of tours throughout the state and saw a lot of cool things get made. A lot of the members of the chamber, whether it was airplanes, ammunition, cars, there's some awesome things made here in Georgia, and decided that I wanted to go make one of those things. So after 3 years at the Georgia Chamber, I started looking for something to make. I knew I couldn't make an airplane, knew I couldn't make a car, wouldn't even know where to start. So I wanted something that would be a little bit more at my wheelhouse, and I've been a woodworker since I was about 13 years old. So I found a woodworking shop that was building swing sets and shipped them all over the country, and was able to buy it, and for 2 years ran the swing set company and shipped swing sets all over to families' backyards across America, made a lot of families happy, and enjoyed every second of it. We had a great team, and decided to sell it at the end of last year, and that's kind of how I got down here with y'all, and super excited for what's next.
We're glad to have you, and I've been impressed. I know all the contacts you made, and I mean, you're a young guy, but everybody I've tried to introduce you to, you already knew. And we went to Eggs and Issues that week before last.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
And I was asking you on the way up there, I said, have you ever been to this? You said, I planned it about 3 different years in a row. Well, can you walk us through, I mean, you gave us a lot of details about what you did at the chamber, but like, what was the typical day like? And also, I think it's important to point out, Chris Clark, who's the president and CEO of the Georgia Chamber, is from Fitzgerald, Georgia.
Correct.
And
he is from Fitzgerald, and I believe, I could be wrong on this, might have gone to one of the iterations of Wiregrass there on the Ben Hill campus as a dual enrollment student back in the day, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's buddies with our president.
No, he is.
We feel locked in with the chamber,
No,
and
it's
very comfortable with him.
And they're a great supporter of workforce development in this state and education. So they're probably one of our biggest allies that we don't get to talk to every day. But as far as what my day looked like, every day was different. During the legislative session, I was down at the Capitol, so for 40 days working on everything from the budget to whatever issue came up that affected. It didn't matter if it was a small little business down in South Georgia or a big business that has reach all over the nation or all over the world. We were down there working for them. During the off session, we were traveling around the state, meeting with local leaders, local chambers, local elected officials to figure out, hey, what went really good this session? What do we have to look forward to the next one?
Great. Well, tell us about any progress you made. I know we're closing in on a deal with Coffee Regional Medical Center for a scholarship to the foundation. Is that correct?
No, I kind of hit the ground running, just reaching out to folks, trying to figure out who all down here in this Valdosta and Fitzgerald and Douglas and Cook County and all over our service region. Some of them who I know really well, some of them I just knew them because they pop up all the time on Facebook, and some I hadn't got the opportunity to meet yet. But one of the conversations we've been able to have is with Coffee Regional Medical Center. We're super excited. They've generously gifted us a scholarship that will ensure kind of the future of EMT, paramedicine, and our our registered nursing program on the Douglas campus for many years to come. And we're super excited for their partnership. They've been great partners with us in the past, great partners with us today, and I think they're going to be good long-term partners with us for the future.
How important are these kinds of scholarships, Will?
They are so important. Technical colleges are great, affordable institutions, but there is still sometimes a cost associated that prohibits some of our students from being able to come in and complete their degree and be able to provide a meaningful impact into our community. And these scholarships, sometimes they're $1,500 that we're able to give out, and sometimes it's just a $150 little kind of gap funding that they need, and we're able to provide that. And this changes students' lives, this changes the lives of their families, and it changes the lives of our community. One little donation at a time. It's awesome to see the look on a student's face when you give them a $150 scholarship or a $1,500 scholarship.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen some of those on our social media in the last 6 months, and they're proud of it.
They are.
So how are we honoring those donors who offer scholarships to our students, Will?
I think the biggest way is for our donors to know about our students and how those are impacted, whether that's through one-on-one meetings with our students and our donors, through letters, through our social media posts, and what our great marketing team does here to let not only the donors but the whole community know about the great things that the Wiregrass Foundation is up to. And I like to go in and check with donors, one-on-one, just to make sure that the impact that they're giving to us is felt from Wiregrass and members of the college.
That's great. Well, if someone wanted to donate to the foundation, Will, what are some ways they can do that?
Sure, there's a couple different ways to donate to the foundation. Obviously, first, the easiest way is to go to www.wiregrass.edu/foundation. And there's a couple links there where you can donate to both our North and our South Foundation. But another way is to reach out to myself or Mona McKenzie, who both of us work for both foundations. And if you want to come up with maybe a custom option, whether that's having a named scholarship or you want to work with students in a certain program or a certain classroom and provide a certain piece of equipment, we can help arrange that and get you in front of the program directors, program coordinators, deans, and some students and figure out kind of what's that best solution there.
That's great. So good to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you.